All right, folks. Back to the action. Let's go out to the 14th, Vern Lundquist.
All right, Jim. It's 3 feet for par to retain the lead. Phil Mickelson has thought about it all night. He surveyed it from every angle this morning. He leads by 1. And a heavy sigh.
But he's only hit 5 of 15 greens here in the final round. To 16.
230 yards. Steve Elkington on the tee.
He has selected a 2-iron. Just watched Stuart Appleby hit a wood. At the moment, wind is calm.
I'd like to come out here after 24 hours and take out a 2-iron, and he had just a beautiful golf shot there to get that on this green. This is just a difficult hole. Not much wind right now. Let's go to 15.
Mickelson on the tee.
And that's with a 3-wood.
You surprised at that play, David?
No, I'm not, Bobby. These fairways will be a little bit easier to hit this morning, but the rough will be a whole lot worse, being damp.
16 we go.
Steve Elkington is about 35-40 feet away. And he is going to have a thrill-packed 5.
165.
False front here. Must carry that. It's about 7 yards onto the green. And that's hole high.
Well, Stuart Appleby was on the same line of this putt, and he just barely got it past Steve Elkington's mark, so it didn't really help Steve, and both guys came up quite a bit short, so these greens are a little slower than they were yesterday, obviously. This for a par. Yeah, great par putt there. That's a wonderful 3, starting off with a 2-iron to a pretty small green, a whole 230 yards.
That was a bit defensive. But understandably so. Par 4 for Mickelson at 15.
CBS out to the tee. 17. Peter Osterhaus.
Between a very narrow chute of trees, 650 yards.
Oh, this is left and heading towards that bunker.
And on a hole of 650 yards, that is very significant. Can he advance it past the cross rough or lay back a long way?
Flag over in the right.
This is the toughest shot he's got coming in right here.
That's not a pull.
No, it's a push, and that's in a bunker, and that is one ridiculously tough bunker shot. I mean, that's about 2 out of 10 to get that ball up and down from that bunker all the way across the green with this pin cut on a ridge in the back right of this. Boy, is that tough to get the thing close. Well, to all my buddies at home, that looks like a tough shot, but Phil has got about 50 feet. David Faraday, it's buried, but he can run the ball up to this shelf where the hole is.
That's right.
This is a tough one.
In a lot of ways, this lie actually helps. If he had a clean lie here, we'd have to fly it all the way to the flag.
He is 1 out of 5 in this tournament, getting the ball up and down, and that is way right of the flag. I mean, way right. And he is going to have about a 25-footer for his par. Let's go to 17.
Third shot for Steve Elkington.
168 yards. He hit a marvelous second shot just to get into this position, Peter.
Yeah, it was a bold play coming across rough and sand out of the bunker, but a little wide on this one.
I haven't seen anybody putt from this particular place so far, so I have no idea. No, it's
Just stayed right there.
Yep. He thought it might cut back. It actually broke the other way. So Phil Mickelson now back to 3 under par if he can negotiate this 2-footer. Let's go to 17.
An opportunity from long range for Elkington. for the birdie. Wow. You have to think if he'd found the fairway off the tee, he would have had a wedge approach, would have been much closer.
For his bogey. Two tied atop the leaderboard. Phil Mickelson, Steve Elkington, the number 3 under par. And there you see Tiger Woods at 2. Let's go to 17.
Elkington to stay at 3 under. He doesn't know he's co-leader, but he knows this is important. Pops it home. 3 under, 1 ahead of Tiger Woods. Who obviously finished quite some time ago. Up and down on the second 9. He was looking very good after the Mickelson.
For such a long hole, this is a very narrow driving area. There's a big cedar on the left-hand side, just squeezes it in about 80 yards off the tee.
Peter, you kind of wonder if they can't reach it in 2, why not just get it in the fairway with 3 with the day?
This is true, because it's important to find the fairway. It's a big penalty.
That one's on the edge.
He's going to be fine. Play for position, rely on the wedge game to give him a chance for a birdie. So much can happen on the 18th tee.
This would be a big one for Elkington.
Oh, this is awful.
Go get him, Stevie.
Boy, that just, Peter, that was just a snap.
Well, that's 2 tee shots, and both of them were massive pull hooks today.
The 18th has been difficult off the tee today. Goosen missed it by a wide margin. Singh drove it into a bunker. Elkington into the trees. He shares the lead with Phil Mickelson.
Right-hand side of the fairway gives a little better view of the flagstick.
Down the left-hand side. Needs a little kick to the right.
And he gets it just enough. Now he comes over. Maybe he has a better view of the flagstick, but very little green to work with from there.
18, look at this. Elkington's ball somehow, Peter, came out of the trees and into the fairway.
Unbelievable break. This is a solid but high 3-wood. And he carries the hazard safely. That's a bold play, but what he needed to do.
That was a bold move and something I think he really had to do. If he had any chance to carry that water, he needed to put it up here and stay aggressive. He's got to make birdie here.
Just in the right side of the fairway off the tee, just in the left side of the fairway on the second shot. Both important positions so you can control the shot.
And he's going with a little pitching wedge, so that means he's trying to keep the spin off this.
Yeah, to hit a club hard with a little breeze against, and he would risk spinning it back off the green.
He hit that hard.
He did. Gets a little bit of spin. It helps him. He'll have a similar line.
Trying to win a second major, which would match his mentor, Jackie Burke, watching down in Houston right now with tremendous interest here. Elkington about to play his third into the final hole.
And this has to really be struck solidly and boldly. Look at this thing in the divot. That'll help him keep the flight down.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, stay there.
Easy. There's another ridge. It'll stay above it.
That is one heck of a play from that lie under those circumstances.
8 feet for birdie for Elkington.
And Jim, this has to go in. I mean, there's no choices here. I think with Phil Mickelson where he is, with Thomas Bjorn where he is off the tee, Steve needs this probably for a playoff.
Well, he won the PGA 10 years ago, as you see Thomas Bjorn waiting to go for this par 5 and 2. Elkington won it at Riviera in '95, making a putt double the length of this one on the 18th green, but that was in a playoff against Montgomery. And this for birdie and the lead. Oh, he hit a good putt.
He did. It just stayed right there. Looked like he hit it where he was looking.
I cannot believe that that didn't drift just a little bit to the right.
Missed a playoff at Valhalla in '96 in the PGA when he parred the finishing hole. Missed out on the playoff with Brooks and Perry by 1. Had a putt on the 72nd hole of the 2002 Open that would have eventually won it. Went on to a playoff in that one. Now he'll wait. He posts 277. And that eliminates Woods.
And sometimes you need a little luck to win the major. And perhaps, David, he learned something from Davis Love's line. He was not far off the line.
Yeah, this is a little right to left here. The whole green tilts from back to front, but it kind of flattens out in the front left edge here.
Phil moved into position to watch the final break on Davis's putt. Davis went past and then made it coming back.
Right to left.
Oh, it was a well-struck putt. Could easily have dropped. It stays as a 3-way tie.
Phil with a chance to hit this green in 2. What do we have here, David?
Well, he has 247 yards, 228 to the front, and he knows he needs 4 to win. He wanted a shot at this, and this is his shot.
4 wood, David?
That's what it is.
This is a club he's very confident in, plays a lot of shots with this, so I would imagine this is a club he practices with a lot. This one back up into the wind off a downhill lie. He can just stand here and hit it solid.
Oh, he made a great swing at it. It's trying to get back just right of the flag.
And in the high grass. It'll depend on the lie, which looks like it's sitting up and down for the championship. From the blimp, it looked like it was sitting up, and that's not the case at all.
Well, no, it's not as bad as it looks. It is down grain, so I mean, he won't have to make a huge swing to move this one. And not the extraordinarily high flop shot, something in between.
This is where years of playing these things pays off right here.
It's a good one. It's a great one. And Mickelson's a foot away from the title. He's the champion. And Phil's fanatics rejoice. And here comes the family.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love you guys. Evan!
Little Evan's taking a victory lap around the green. He's missing out on all the hugs.
Come here, little buddy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing this with me, you guys. Thank you for sharing this with me, Sophia and Amanda. Oh! Come here. Come here.
Look at little Evan.